Once upon a time, a long time ago, in Italy, there lived a farmer named Giovanni. And he and his family had a small farm on the side of a very high mountain. They were very, very poor. And on the top of the same mountain lived a prince, a noble prince. And he lived in the castle. And if you stood at the top of the mountain and you looked around at all the farms that he could see, he owned them all. He owned all of these farms were his. So he was very, very rich. Giovanni and his family worked extremely hard. You know how it is on a farm. You've got to dig, you've got to plant, you've got to... They worked extremely hard. But every year, without fail, the north wind blew fiercely on their side of the mountain. And the north wind destroyed almost all the food that they planted. They had very little left over. And what was left over, the prince took it for taxes, because it was his land. They had very little to eat. And this made Giovanni angry. He said, it's too much. I can't take it anymore. We have no food to eat. What are we going to do? And his wife Giovanna said, well, the prince takes a lot of our food. Why don't you go talk to the prince? All right, said Giovanni. That's exactly what I'm going to do. He put on his best shirt and a tie and his best jacket, and he climbed up the mountain to where the prince lived in the castle. He knocked on the big castle door. Pound, pound. No answer. Pound again. And a big, strong servant came and said, Giovanni, what do you want? Giovanni said, I want to talk to the prince. And the big man said, I think the prince is busy. Giovanni said, I need to talk to the prince. Okay, said the big servant. And he took him into a big hall where the prince was sitting on a gold chair. And all around were expensive paintings and furniture and food everywhere. And Giovanni said, Your Highness, every year we plant our food, and every year the north wind destroys almost everything that we plant. And then what's left over, you take it. You take our food for taxes. We have very little to eat. And the prince said, well, the north wind destroys a lot of your food. I'm sorry for you, but I can't do anything about it. Why don't you talk to the north wind about it? And he tried to look sorry, but Giovanni knew he wasn't sorry. He wasn't sorry. He looked at the prince's face, and the prince was there with all of his expensive belongings, a carriage, good wine that he got from Giovanni's grapes. And he took a sip of wine and said, go talk to the north wind. Giovanni said, all right, I'll speak to the north wind. And Giovanni went down the mountain and up the next mountain, higher than that mountain where the north wind lived. There was snow and ice everywhere. And he looked to see where could he find the house of the north wind. And he saw this cave with a big enough opening for him to go into. But he thought he'd better not. He'd better knock. And he took an icicle. You know what an icicle is? A piece of ice. And he knocked. No answer. He put it down and took a bigger icicle. And he knocked. Bang! Bang! He heard a voice. Now you kids, I don't want you to be afraid, but it was a scary voice of the north wind that said, I am the wind that blows from the north. I breathe ice with a mighty roar. Who dares disturb the wind from the north? Who's banging on my door? And Giovanni snuck into the little cave and said, North wind, it's me, Giovanni the farmer. Every year we plant our food, and every year you destroy most of it. freeze in the winter and we starve all year round. And the north wind, though he had a cold breath, he had a warm heart. He said, I am the wind that blows from the north. My breath is cold, but my heart is warm. So take this gift, Giovanni. Take this present. And from now on, good luck will bless your farm. And a box appeared at Giovanni's feet. About this big, black box. Nothing on it. Giovanni touched it, and it was so cold, he almost burned his fingers. Frostbite, so cold. He took off his jacket, he wrapped up the box, put it under his arm, and he went down the mountain of the north wind, then up his own mountain to the side, went into the house, and he had 8 kids and his wife. And he said, look what the north wind gave me. And he unwrapped the black box. And he saw a sign on the box that said, open me whenever you are hungry and order whatever you want to eat. Giovanni said, okay, I'll have some spaghetti and meatballs. And his wife said, oh, I'll have some grapes. And one of his kids said, okay, can we have some ice cream? And another kid said, okay, who are the kids in the audience? Okay, show me a kid. What would you order if you can order anything you want? Food.
Noodles.
What is it? Noodles. Any other children in the audience here? Okay, then I'll have to ask an adult. What would you order? Anything you want?
Steak and kidney pie.
Steak and kidney pie. And what would you order?
Greek pasta salad.
What kind of salad?
Greek pasta salad.
Greek pasta salad? Greek pasta salad, steak and kidney pie, noodles, the spaghetti and meatballs, and another kid said grapes, and another one said, oh, let's have some apples and bananas. Things that they didn't even know about except they read about them. What would you order?
Lobster.
Lobster. All these things appeared at the table, and they were eating it every day. They ordered different things, and it appeared magically at the table. And on the 6th day, while they were eating so well, there was a knock on the door. Bang! Bang! Giovanni opened the door, and it was the big servant and the prince. And the prince said, well, hello, Giovanni. I come to collect the money you owe me. Giovanni said, money? You know we have no money. The prince walked in without even being invited. He walked into the house and said, you seem to eat very well. Look at all this food for a poor man. And Giovanni said, no thanks to you, prince. Thank God we have this box to give us food when we want it, but no thanks to you. And the prince looked at the box and looked at all the food. He said, well, you haven't got any money. I guess I'm going to have to take your magic box instead. And he handed it to the big servant. And the prince and the servant walked out. And Giovanni's wife was angry. Now look what you've done, you and your big mouth. Why did you have to tell him that we had the box? Why did you have to tell him? Giovanni felt awful. The next day, he got dressed up really well again. And again he climbed that tall mountain of the north wind. And he found an icicle. And again he banged on the cave door. And again he heard that voice. I am the wind that blows from the north. I breathe ice with a mighty roar. Who dares disturb the wind from the north? Who's banging on my door? And Giovanni said, North Wind, it's me again, Giovanni, the farmer, you remember? Remember when I came and you gave me that black box? Well, the prince took the black box. And now, we're starving again. We have no food, and it's Christmas. And the north wind said, I am the wind that blows from the north. One more time, I'll show you the way. So take this gift, Giovanni, and maybe you'll have a good Christmas day. And at Giovanni's feet, another box. Bigger but not plain black. Jewels, diamonds, rubies. Oh, it just shined. It was made out of gold. And Giovanni thought, it too was so cold he almost burned his fingers. He took off his jacket, he wrapped the box up. He went down the mountain from the north wind, up his mountain, into his house, unwrapped his jacket, and there was this gold box shining at him. There was a sign that says, open me after you've ordered whatever you want. And Giovanni thought, wow, this box looks like money. I'll have 20 gold pieces, if you please. And then he opened the box, and out of the box jumped a huge man with a club. And he started beating Giovanni on his shoulders, on his bum, on his legs. Oh, if it wasn't for the 8 kids who pushed this huge man back in the box and sat on it and lashed it, Giovanni would have been beaten. And he said, this is a fine Christmas Day gift the North Wind gave me. Fine gift he gave me. Show me the way. And his wife, Giovanna, said, I've got an idea. Get the box. Giovanni said, I did. Get the box, said his wife. And he got the box. She said, follow me. And they went up the mountain to where the prince lived, banged on the castle door. There was the huge servant. And his wife said, we want to see the prince. Well, I'm not so sure he wants you to come in, you peasants, but maybe he'll come to the door. So the servant got the prince, and his wife said, Prince, you know that black box you gave us? Why don't you trade it for this box? This big box made of gold with jewels on it. Why don't we, and the prince thought, wait a minute, this black box will give me food anytime I want. But then he thought, but I've got lots of food. I get all the food from the farmers all around, including this farmer. And he can't resist something made out of gold. A prince cannot resist something made out of gold with jewels. No. And he said, all right. Told the servant to get the black box. And they switched boxes. And Giovanni and Giovanna went down to their side of the mountain. It was Christmas Day, and they opened up the box, and they ordered the food they love to eat on Christmas Day. What food do you love to eat on Christmas Day? What do you like to eat on Christmas Day?
Cookies.
Cookies! They ordered lots of different kinds of cookies. Chocolate chip cookies, raisin cookies. What do you like to eat on Christmas Day?
Turkey.
Turkey! The turkey appeared on the table. What do you like to eat on Christmas Day?
Lasagna.
Lasagna! Oh, that's typically Italian for Christmas, the lasagna. And they were having this beautiful feast of turkey and cookies and lasagna and more, cannoli. Oh, God, anything you can imagine. And they had wine, and the kids were drinking cider. And they were just enjoying themselves and walking out. And they saw something streaking down the mountain. And screamed. It was the prince running down the mountain, being chased by that huge man with the club. Until they both disappeared out of sight. And they smiled and had their Christmas supper, and everybody in the village ate from the box when the plants weren't good or the north wind destroyed some of the plants. And every Christmas was full of all the food they loved to eat. And they never saw the prince again, or the huge man. But they say, if you go there on a dark night, when the moon is full, even today, because I'm from Italy, I go to Italy, and I think I saw it. This streak, it's like a light. And it was the huge man still chasing that prince, and that prince will forever be chased by that huge man with the club. But the families in the village always had a wonderful Christmas dinner.